Alright. Hello, everyone. Hello, Soup, Audio Killers, Disapriva, Harry Monk, Tombit Minded, Karmadex, Joshi, and Lucas. Thank you guys for the good luck. Also, hello, Silly Mazooker. Now you ask, but why? Emmerich and Schmidt. But yeah, so I decided over my Zeldathon slash GDQ vacation that we're going to also try streaming on YouTube, which is why the Twitch chat is like over there on the other side of the screen. So that's what we're doing today. Also, thanks for the good luck, Cloverfield and Cantaloupe. Also, yes, GG to Glubbers on the amazing All Dungeons run at GDQ. I unfortunately was not able to do the run because I had tested positive for COVID for like a 6-day stretch before GDQ started, but I didn't begin testing negative in time to actually then be able to do the run. So that's what happened with that, but I was still able to go to the last few days of the event, which was nice. So thank you very much, Mutalulls, for the 22 months of Prime. Do appreciate the continued support of almost 2 years. And thanks for the good luck, Araylans. Oh yeah, I mean, like, when I was actually testing positive, I was pretty asymptomatic. I didn't, like, feel bad at all. I just had to isolate in a room from everyone. Also, yeah, this speedrun is all of the dungeons, but, like, also going through the rest of the game as well. So, we start at the beginning, where we're in Orden Village, and end when we beat Ganondorf. Also, yes, I was sitting in the crowd for the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker runs at GDQ. For the Twilight Princess one, I was wearing a cow onesie. Because I had been wearing a cow onesie that day. I mean, like, I'm not, like, overly attached to this category, I would say. I do think it's fun, but, like, I'm not too, like, sad about not getting to show it off at GDQ. So, hello, Magaga. Thank you very much, Complex Milk, for the 69 months of Tier 2. That's a lot of months of Tier 2, and a nice, funny number. But good morning, and thank you very much for the good luck. I congratulate you on reaching the funny number. Alright, so because my sleep schedule is messed up, I think we should probably start the attempts, because I will probably get very tired in about 4 hours, which is about how long this run is. Also, thanks for the good luck, Vedenjakaja. And thank you very much, iCraig, for gifting a Tier 1 sub to the community. That is very generous of you, so thank you very much. Now I can actually play the video game. I also pretty much haven't played this video game in like 2 weeks, except for my Zelda-thon run. So, I might be slightly rusty. We'll see how we do. I've been doing Zelda speedrunning for about 13 years now. I started in January of 2013, and it is currently January of 2026. So it's been quite a long time. And there are no plans of stopping anytime soon. Fourth try, okay. Also, thanks for the good luck, Hoax SZM. Yes, the last time I played this game was indeed last year. Oh, Discord hasn't pinged yet? Eh. If I reset soon, actually, no, yeah, if you want to do it, Joshy, that would be convenient. Oh, really, Link? Or really, Epona? Nice. I want to speedrun all mainline 3D Zeldas. This is an ambitious goal, but I believe in you. Also, thanks for the good luck, Peichi. And thank you very much, Mary Summer, for the 22 months of Prime. Sorry you missed a month. I mean, I haven't streamed at all in the past, like, 2 weeks, so... You probably did not miss much. And thank you very much, Camdog, for the 15 months of Prime as well. GDQ was indeed a lot of fun, at least for the half of the week that I got to be there. I wish I could have been there the whole time, but that would have been irresponsible. I plan on doing another Wind Waker speedrun. I'm sure at some point, yeah. I can definitely improve my time in each category of Wind Waker. But for the moment, I want to try and improve my time in Twilight Princess HD. Oh my god, what is this guy doing? Ah, okay, that wasn't actually too bad. No, darn it. How did he get pushed to the left? Oh, hello. I would like you to stay over here. Ow, darn it. Well, this is not the greatest Boko push, unfortunately. That kill was very nice. But we kind of already lost a bunch of time from messing up that first push, so I don't know if we'll actually continue this, but we'll see what time we get the last guy at. Unfortunately, a bit too slow to continue with that, so we'll try again. I wouldn't, or at least, as far as GDQ goes, I did not participate as a runner or a commentator. I originally was supposed to do a run, but then by the time that, essentially, I began testing positive for COVID at the weekend before the marathon, like a few days before the marathon started. And the deadline that they gave me was that if I could test negative 2 days before my run was supposed to be, then I could still do it. But because I was not negative then, they had to arrange for a backup runner. And so even though I did then test negative the day after, and was actually there at the time that my run would have been, they had already given it to Glubbers, the backup runner, and could not change the schedule back, so I did not get to do the run. But that's okay, because I've already done a lot of GDQ runs before. I am sure I will get the opportunity to do more. Assuming I continue to speedrun, which is what I continue to do. Ow, darn it. Too slow on that, unfortunately. Also, thank you very much, Crane, for the 55 months of Tier 1. I will indeed enjoy hugging the Bokoblins. Also, thank you very much, Lou, for the 81 months of Tier 1. That is indeed a 9-squared sub. So thank you very much, Lou, for the continued support and for being here. And thanks, Zantito, for the 58 months of Tier 1. That's a lot of months of Tier 1 as well. No, I will not be streaming on Kick. It's only going to be Twitch and YouTube, probably. And also, thank you very much, Juniper, for the 37 months of Tier 1. Thank you for the best of luck as well. And thank you, Storm Mystic, for the 51 months of Tier 1, and for the good luck, too. So thank you guys for all of the resubs. I do appreciate it. I also will not be live streaming to Facebook, no. Also, hello, haha. Also, yes, Glubber's GDQ run was very good. I also know that Glubber's really cares a lot about Twilight Princess All Dungeons, so I'm glad that he had the opportunity to be able to do that. Also, thanks for the good luck, Leafy. And thanks for the good luck as well, Nerades. Or if that's how to pronounce that, but I did my best. No, this is the first stream with the chat on the top right. Because technically, Twitch policy is that if you're multi-streaming to another service, you essentially have to include the Twitch chat in the stream on that other service. I don't know if that's actually enforced at all, but, you know, just in case. If the specific wording is something like, the viewers on whatever the other services are cannot lose the experience of the full stream, which includes the chat. Also, hello, Caryu. Also, yeah, I figured you were the same Caryu as before. Also, yes, Momo's That's a Cow run was incredible. Which is why we got the cow onesies and became cows on the back couch. And on the main commentary couch. Also, thank you very much for the 19 months of Prime, and for the good luck, Matt, the FSX guy. Do appreciate your continued support as well. Oh. Also, thanks for the good luck, Kiana and Orion Williams. I plan on doing another Zelda randomizer. I'm sure at some point, yeah. I do have some randomizer matches coming up for tournaments, but I'm not sure I'll stream those to YouTube. Because I don't want to include the chat on those if I can't look at the chat, because then the chat's going to show up for me in OBS, which would not be allowed by tournament rules. Also, yes, Crane, that is a horse. Does this game have cows? I don't think this game has cows, actually. True, the goats are called cows in the code. I forgot about that. Also, that's true, Crystal. They can't see you on Twitch because you're in YouTube chat. Well, there's probably a way to set that up, but... Hello. There you go. For now, I was mostly concerned with putting the Twitch chat on the stream. Also, this camera is very weird. Alright. Also, hello, Nintendo. I am indeed feeling alright. I never really felt bad at all. I was fairly asymptomatic while I was sick, so I was just sitting in a bed with my laptop for like 5 days, or 6 days, something like that. This is a questionable start. I was kind of hoping the goat over here would go in. Alright, not the best goats, but we can continue with it. My favorite Zelda game. My favorite Zelda game is indeed a tie between Wind Waker and Skyward Sword. For you, it's Twilight Princess. This game is very good. Like, honestly, I think you can make an argument for, like, any Zelda game being your favorite Zelda game. Or just any game, really, since, you know, whether or not you think a video game is fun is kind of subjective. Also, hello, DF. Oh wow, we actually got Box Breaker. Nice. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Excited to get back into the swing of things with streaming. I know I said that we would be switching to something that was not Twilight Princess after GDQ is over, but I guess that's not happening. The Twilight Princess continues. Also, thanks for the good luck, Arsenic Angel. Hope that work is going well. So thanks for the good luck as well, Fighter Wolf in comics. And Twilight Princess will continue until morale improves. I guess more accurately, the Twilight Princess will continue until times improve. So thank you very much, Fighter Wolf, for the 2 months of Prime. Howard. Alright, good text skip. Any time I'm shooting for? I mean, I don't know if there's a specific time. It's more just like, I want a run that I feel better about, I guess. Like, there's never usually a specific time, really. Even if I give, like, a specific time that I want, that's more just, like, a gauge of where I think I might be satisfied with a run, but like I said, I would be satisfied with Or that my goal was sub 350 for this category, which we have, and I'm like, well, we can do better. Also, yeah, comics. It was nice to see you at GDQ also. I'm glad that we got to talk about Outer Wilds. Because I always love talking about Outer Wilds. Also, thank you very much, MF Motion, for the 7 months at Tier 1. Thank you for the good luck as well. Also, thanks for the good luck, Brandino and DDVX. Also, yeah, we didn't really get to hang out at all, Brandino. That was unfortunate, but there are a lot of people to hang out with at GDQ. And I was only there for half the time that I normally am, so I definitely did not get to spend as much time with people as I had hoped. We need to hang out twice as much next time, exactly. We need to play more board games. That was also something that was lacking for me at GDQ. What do I think of Tears of the Kingdom? I thought Tears of the Kingdom was a lot of fun. I think it, at least, like, ability-wise, expands nicely on what you were able to do in Breath of the Wild. So, I really enjoyed it. But it is very different. Like, if you haven't played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, it's very different from previous Zelda games. In, like, how it's structured. So, very open world. Do I have a favorite board game? Guess I'm not sure if card games are included with board games, but, like, it's not technically because there's no board, but my favorite card game is Hanabi. Probably my favorite board game would be Cosmic Encounter, but I haven't played that in a while. You always see the videos, but never happen to found while streaming. Well, that would make sense, because this is indeed the first YouTube stream. We're multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. Tears of the Kingdom needed more socks. I mean, that's also a fair opinion. You are a particular fan of socks, you will probably be disappointed in Tears of the Kingdom, where I don't think there are any sock items that exist. There are boots, but, I don't know about socks. Howard. Thoughts on Ticket to Ride, the board game? I've played Ticket to Ride before, but I honestly don't think I remember what all of the rules, or like even how the game is really played. So, I don't know if I currently have an opinion on Ticket to Ride. I like trains, so... have to compete with Hanabi. I mean, I suppose that's true. That and any number of other activities that people try to do. We did get to go mini-golfing with a pretty big group at GDQ, though, which was fun. And we played, like, mildly high-tech mini-golf. But answer your question, Crystal, about how it feels to read 2 chats at once, it's slightly overwhelming, but... I'm sure I'll get used to it. Did I find out the mini-golf strats? I don't think so, unfortunately. Well, I mean, I did decently, I suppose. I think out of everyone in the group of, like, 12 people, I was second. The person who did the best was EJ, who just, like, clobbered everyone. Got, like, 5 hole-in-ones. How was GDQ? GDQ, as always, was fun. Though I wish I actually got to go the whole week, but unfortunately I was sick the first half of the week, so that didn't happen. You went mini-golfing with Trez and you played so fast they let you play another round for free. Are you gonna become a mini-golf speedrunner, Crystal? Slow. Alright, I forgot that I wanted to get all those guys at once now. Oh yeah, I'm sure there are ways you can combine the chats together, but... I wanted to make sure I could see the whole chat of, I guess, each service. Time to get Master Sword. Unfortunately not. If someone wants to figure out how to bypass the first wall in Sacred Grove as human, then we could get Master Sword after getting Gale Boomerang. that does not involve rupee sliding. Also, thanks for the good luck, why not Wobbuffet? Ooh, rupee. Yes, monkey, I know. I'm going to pick this up. So yes, we are back to our regularly scheduled speedruns of apparently Twilight Princess. Okay. Honestly, kind of surprised the monkey did not notice the keys there. Yes, regularly scheduled lawn mowing. You don't believe you've seen how rupee sliding works before? Well, it takes a couple hours to perform, which is the main reason that it's not done in most speedruns of Twilight Princess. Except for things like low percent and low transforms. So thanks for the good luck, Kokorona. I did indeed have a good time at GDQ. Is it possible to use a music randomizer and swap musics from other Zelda games like Skyward Sword or Wind Waker into Twilight Princess? I mean, very technically, yes. I don't think the Twilight Princess randomizer supports custom music at the moment. But, like, if you take the music from the other games and convert it into the format that Twilight Princess uses, you can just have the music from those other games in Twilight Princess, yeah. So thanks for the good luck, Sven. The bird is robbed. The bird is indeed robbed, unfortunately. That is how you do the speedrun fast. I guess with how many rupees we had, we could have technically paid him, but we kind of want the rupees for ourselves, so... Platform am I using to stream? I mean, I'm just using the OBS, I think it's called, like, multi-RTMP plugin. Stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Figured that since I have the connection speed to support 2 simultaneous streaming connections, that seemed like the simplest option. But I have experimented with like Restream.io before as well, like a while ago. Thank you very much, Fastest, for the 52 months of Tier 1. And thank you very much for the good luck as well. GDQ was a lot of fun, as it usually is. I'm excited for SGDQ. So thank you very much, Vigiman, for the 41 months of Tier 1. There's a lot of months of Tier 1 as well, so thank you for your continued support. Also, yes, Cormo, all is indeed well. At least last I checked. SGDQ will be in Minneapolis from July 4th, no, July 5th through 11th, I think, if I remember the dates correctly. Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword, which one is better? In my opinion, I enjoy Skyward Sword more, but I think there's a solid case to be made for both games. Also, thank you very much, Gantum, for the 93 months of Tier 1. That is a lot of months. I greatly appreciate the continued support, and thank you for the good luck. Also, yeah, AGDQ next year will be in Atlanta, and no longer in Pittsburgh. Which is kind of nice, because Pittsburgh was very cold. Granted, you know, a decent portion of the US is very cold during the winter months, so I don't think there are a whole lot of options to avoid that are also reasonable to go to, but especially in 2024 and 2025, Pittsburgh was just, like, below freezing the whole time during AGDQ. No, GDQ events, at least AGDQ and SGDQ, or also SGDQ has pretty much always been held in Minneapolis during the summer, and AGDQ has been held in various places around the East Coast. Also, nice, Ook, thank you. So it's unsurprising they are sticking with the East Coast still, except just moving further south. But no, so, like, there are other events that GDQ goes to, but it's usually some bigger event that GDQ is, like, tacked onto, and not, like, a full event that is just GDQ. Because, like, GDQ, I think, sets themselves up at, like, PAX East and PAX West each year. And they also set themselves up at TwitchCon, which for the past couple of years has been in San Diego, and I think is also still in San Diego again this year. So San Diego is close to LA, but is not itself LA. I need to be the first person in YouTube chat to worship Luke. Excellent job, Karyu. I admire the dedication. Oh, very good roll. I don't know if we're close enough. We might be. Ow. Like 2 inches away from being able to just hold A. You see green claims box, but it's not letting you click it to claim. Yeah, I assume you're talking about, like, the points, the Twitch channel point reward claiming. Sometimes it also just doesn't work for me either, because Twitch is a very functional website. I ever thought about visiting Japan. I technically have been to Japan before, but I was 6 years old at the time, so I don't think I really appreciated it the way that I would if I went to Japan now. Although it's never really been a serious consideration for me because it would be expensive to do that. And isn't something that, like, I would have enough interest in to justify the cost of going. Okay. I'm sure the Nintendo store in Japan is probably very cool. Or really any of the Nintendo stores, probably. But I've never been reasonably close enough to any Nintendo store to go to one. Do a kickflip. If I tried to do a kickflip, I would probably injure myself. Since I have never been on a skateboard before. Also, yes, that was a fairly clean Diababa. I did technically lose time because I failed to go into first person before pulling the boomerang one time, but that's like 3/4 of a second lost. Oh no. Howard. I have been to Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios in Los Angeles, but... or Hollywood, technically, I guess. And that was pretty neat. What controller am I using? We are using the Wii U gamepad. So that's what the optimal controller to use for this run is. What's a place I would absolutely visit? I don't know if there are any places that I, like, absolutely want to visit, because I'm not really one for, like, just traveling for the sake of traveling, or traveling to, like, see something, necessarily. I don't know. At least I don't think there's any place that I would, like, absolutely want to go visit. You're sorry I had to miss GDQ. Well, I was actually there the second half of the week. But I unfortunately was sick by the time that they said that if I was still sick by, they would have to call in a backup for my run, so... Even though I was there for the time slot of my run, that's why I did not do my run. But thank you for the best of witches. The best of witches. The best of wishes, Couchmaster. But who knows, maybe I do need the best of witches. Also, thanks for the good luck, Coco. Is this a 100% run? This is not a 100% run, no. Oh yeah, I'm sure the Japan Super Nintendo World is probably cooler than the Hollywood one. I know they also have the Donkey Kong Land there as well now. Also, bad gate, let me through. Thank you. Thank you very much for the $5, Shadow Phoenix. I do enjoy watching the Linkus races, and thank you for the good luck. Weren't I going to play this on AGDQ, or did you somehow miss it? You did not miss it. I did not end up playing this because, unfortunately, I was sick by the time that I would have needed to have confirmed not being sick for keeping my run on the schedule. That was a good cargo out flight, so probably saved back some time from the unoptimal gate clip there. Also, yeah, GDQ did raise about $2.4 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, which is pretty hype. Hello, Baz. I did indeed have a good time at GDQ. And honestly, am not, like, hugely torn up about not being able to do the run, because I'm sure I'll get to do more GDQ runs in the future. Hate doing dumb tricks for rando that don't give you anything. Well, you know what you then got, Crystal? You got a good learning experience of how to do the trick. And you built character. So thanks for the good luck, Fran Jams. Imagine if they found a trick where you can skip over the door into Hyrule Castle in Twilight Princess. That would be a pretty big skip. Would save well over an hour, I guess, depending on what was actually necessary to perform it. But you'd pretty much be able to skip everything past Claw Shot, at least on the GameCube version, because you can get through all of Hyrule Castle with just Boomerang, Claw Shot, Lantern, and Master Sword. It's pretty much everything that would be hard required. Is this game on Switch backwards compatible anywhere? No. This game is, I think, now the only 3D Zelda game that's not on Switch somehow. Because Wind Waker is on GameCube NSO, OOT and MM are on N64. Skyward Sword HD exists, and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are Switch games, so... So thanks for the good luck, Ben. Yeah, it's possible to do some long jump attacks in Hyrule Castle to get past the spinner part without the spinner. It is a little bit difficult, though. It requires doing a fairly precise long jump attack within a 2-frame window. So thanks for the good luck, Chris. Hope that you managed to get home safe. Well, so you can skip the double claw shot use with a frame-perfect fall with a single claw shot, so you just need single claw shot for that. That part's, aside from the frame-perfect A press itself, that part's not as precise as the, really? This is not good. That was really slow. I'm surprised I didn't run to the right enough there at the start. You had to backflip into the attack of a Stalfos to get on top of Dampe's grave and talk to his grave in just the right spot to fall in. All for a wall master that took you to the Swordmaster School. Wait, are you playing MM Randomizer? I guess that's the only thing that would make sense. Oh, so yes, that is 2 frames at 30 FPS. Assuming that you're in the correct position with the correct long jump attack angle. Yeah, I mean, as far as, like, Twilight Princess on the Switch goes, I wouldn't, or at least I am willing to bet that we are getting some sort of Zelda remake and/or remaster on the Switch this year, or specifically the Switch 2. That will probably be developed by Tantalus Games. Or more accurately, is currently in development by Tantalus Games. Also, thank you very much, Fraraka, for the 8 months of Prime. Thank you very much for the continued support. Glad you enjoyed the speedruns. The only 60 FPS Zelda game you know about is SSHD. I mean, technically, like, Link Between Worlds, Triforce Heroes, Echoes of Wisdom, and Link's Awakening Switch, I think, all run at 60. And I think, like, technically the NES and SNES ones run at 60. Oh yeah, Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well. So hello, Kiwi. GDQ was a lot of fun, as it always is. Really? Yeah, that's a silly mistake to make. Been a while since I've done that one. Please. Alright, well. This segment has been a little bleh so far. What do I think is the easiest and hardest Zelda game to speedrun? I mean, at least for me personally, the game that I have the most trouble trying to speedrun is definitely Majora's Mask on the N64. Just because of how wonky the controls feel to me. So... at least for me, it's MM on N64, but, like, you could probably also make a case for, like, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, depending on the category as well. Also, really... thank you. As far as the 2D games, I don't have any, notion of how easy or difficult they are to speedrun. I guess as far as, like, the 3D ones go, MM3D isn't all that bad. Like, MM3D, even though some of it might look kind of ridiculous and difficult, most of it's actually not very difficult. Twilight Princess HD, for the most part, also isn't too difficult, except for, like, some very specific tricks. Like, the beginning of the run is difficult with Epona, Gate Clip, and Boko pushing, and then early Snow Peak, later on in the run, is pretty difficult as well. Skyward Sword HD also isn't too difficult, because there just aren't very many tricks that you have to do in it. Hello, Snowy Sparkles. I am doing alright. You're trying to play devil's advocate here. Wind Waker and TP are actually some of the easiest. They just have really annoying tricks that people don't realize aren't required when you're new. I guess that's also a fair take, but I mean, I feel like you could kind of say that about, like, all of the games to some degree, then. Because, like, you could also make routes for each of the other games that don't have any of the, like, super hard tricks either, probably. Yeah, I could see the intermediate route for TP being not very difficult to get through most of. Yeah, OOT 3D is mostly difficult because of Ferrari's Wind wrong warps being fairly punishing. Especially because, like, aside from any percent, each category usually has at least, like, 4 or 5 of them. You got stuck at early Snow Peak copying one of my runs? Yeah, that makes sense. Why we call it the hardest trick in the run. Because it's not easy to do consistently at all. I played Zelda for the first time, was I just like, yeah, I want to speedrun this game? Not really. I played Zelda, specifically Twilight Princess was my first Zelda game, for the first time when I was like 11, but I didn't get into speedrunning until I was like 14. How difficult is the manual Super Zoom in Wind Waker? I mean, really, any version of the manual Super Sim I would classify as very difficult, because it's either going to involve around 200 frame-perfect pause buffers, or flicking the stick back and forth at ridiculous speeds, right? Both of which are very difficult things to do. So thanks for the good luck, Leanne. How did I get into speedrunning? So, I technically started speedrunning at the suggestion of someone else who wanted to try speedrunning together. And I was like, well, this looks very hard. I don't know if we'll be able to do this. And then we tried it, and I was like, well, this is pretty hard, but it's also a lot of fun, so I'm going to keep doing it. And thus I kept doing it. Well, yeah, so before Zelda, my video game interests were, like, essentially... It was mostly Pokemon, with, like, some 2D Mario sprinkled in, and also Roller Coaster Tycoon, and Minecraft. Because, you know, of course, every 13-year-old loves Minecraft. Hello, Hero of Time. I mean, I enjoyed GDQ. And I'm not really torn up at all about not being able to do my run, since I'm sure I will be able to do more GDQ runs in the future. If you could get storage in Twilight Princess like you could in Wind Waker, that would open up some pretty funky stuff. Like, Pogate Skip would suddenly be super easy. Because you could just walk through the gate during the cutscene. What happened at GDQ? Nothing really happened at GDQ, but I only went to GDQ for the second half of the week. Because for the first half of the week, I was testing positive for COVID. Despite not really having any symptoms. So I just kind of had asymptomatic COVID and had to isolate from people. But then halfway through the, halfway through the time frame of the event, I began testing negative, and then I decided to go. But I mean, like, no, it sucks that I wasn't able to go for the first half of the week, but, like, I was kind of just chilling in a room, not making contact with anyone, just working on my computer, so. I was not, like, suffering dramatically or anything like that. When doing Back in Time and Skyward Sword, how do you know which file to choose so that the game doesn't crash? I mean, as far as, like, knowing which file to select when is, like, partially just understanding what you're doing in the route. Like, the route documents that we have for each of the routes tell you more or less when you have to select certain files, and also when to not select certain files to prevent, like, crashing or soft locking in Back in Time. Because it all depends on what data is on the file when you select it, and also whether or not that data is actively getting updated or not by certain conditions on the title screen. For the most part, it doesn't really matter if you select, like, a wrong file somewhere, but sometimes it does very much matter. But it is mostly just following instructions. Whatever the route doc says. Well, no, so I wasn't at GDQ when I first tested positive for COVID. So, like, the full timeline is that me and a bunch of other speedrunners went to the charity event Zeldathon, which took place the week before GDQ, right? And so at Zeldathon, there was someone who tested positive for COVID, like, halfway through the event. So then, this was someone that I was rooming with. So I was like, oh, well, I should make sure that I'm not testing positive, right? So I test after learning that, but I test negative at the time, right? And so then the plan was that me and a bunch of other speedrunners were then going to road trip to AGDQ after Zeldathon. And so I tested positive for COVID after we had already gone back to one of the other runners' houses after Zeldathon, which we were going to then go to GDQ from. So I essentially just isolated in their house while I was positive for COVID. Because I tested positive for COVID like 2 days before we were going to road trip to AGDQ. So then when I finally began testing negative is when I was like, okay, I'm testing negative, I can now book my flight and plead for my reservation back at the hotel that I had actually completely canceled the day before, but thankfully they were gracious enough to give it back to me despite the fact that I had canceled. Also, hello, Danny Music. Greetings from the southwestern United States. I think that segment is a fake best, because I think I split for Lene Vessel a little bit late. Still a good split, though. Oh, come on, really? Nice doorway. Have I ever thought about downloading hacks for any Zelda game for comedy purposes? I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by hack. I did a crowd control stream before where people could cheer channel points or use channel points or use bits to make funny in-game effects happen for Twilight Princess. But as far as like regular speedruns go, we never use anything that modifies the game for speedrunning. When's the next crowd control? It's a great question. I could probably do another one at some point, but also... Leopona's not too far away here. Okay, good. I was a bit worried about how sharp of an angle I had there. Now we get to see how many rupees we can get. we should do wacky things again. Doing wacky things is usually fun, I agree. But it might be a little difficult with your current time zone, Crystal. I think is probably the biggest factor. Oh, really? I even went into first person. Alright, well, that sucks. That means we will be losing time here. HD not being on Switch is a crime. Well, I feel like if we are going to get Twilight Princess on Switch, it is probably just going to be in the form of GameCube NSO, if I had to guess. And what better year than this year, the 20th anniversary of Twilight Princess. You think NSO is bad? I mean, at least of the titles that I've tried to play on NSO, there are definitely some problems. Just like on the technical side with like input/rendering latency and stuff like that, so... I do generally agree. And I would much rather, like, if Twilight Princess was going to somehow be available on Switch or Switch 2, I would much prefer it being a remake or remaster than being on GameCube NSO. Turn around, not back up. Because, yeah, I mean, at least for, like, a good 6 months or so since the Switch launched, Wind Waker on GameCube and SO had, like, at least pretty bad perceived input delay. It wasn't actually input delay, but it was visual rendering delay for whatever reason. Though they did significantly fix most of that in the update where they added WarioWare. There is still some, like, perceived latency, but it's definitely much better than it was before. One slap, 2 slap, 3 slap, 4 slap, and unfortunate. This is not great bow RNG. So, that is unfortunate, but not bad enough to reset. I mean, lowest percent currently for at least the original Twilight Princess only has a single rupee slide in it now, since Pogate skip without doing a rupee slide got figured out. Also, thank you very much, Asher, for the 40 months of Prime. I almost said 29 because of the streak. But thank you very much for the good luck. And I also think you are cool, Asher. I wish we had gotten more time to hang out at GDQ, but I was only there for half the time. Also, yeah, the other problem with NSO is that, like, Nintendo could just arbitrarily shut the service off if they wanted to. So, like, you don't actually get to keep the games that you're able to play on NSO, which is kind of stupid. Well, so the Pogate skip method that, like, obsoleted the rupee slide for low percent is fairly new. It was discovered, like, 5 months ago, so... It's not like some week-old discovery or something like that. What's the worst Zelda RNG that's happened in a run? I think 15 cycles? It's either 15 or 16. I don't remember the exact number. I feel like Echoes of Wisdom is, like, at least as far as, like, open world games, though, I definitely thought that, or, like, much preferred the, at least slightly linear structure of Echoes of Wisdom. Because, like, Echoes of Wisdom is not completely open world, but you do have some choice in the manner of where you go. Like, I also think Link Between Worlds, you know, was fine in that regard. Like, I think that, like, striking a balance between linear and open worlds is where I like Zelda the best, personally. I mean, yeah, I don't think as far as, like, central game mechanics go, I would want another game like Echoes of Wisdom. But... Oh. Want to put on Iron Boots there. Like, my biggest issue with Echoes of Wisdom is just the fact that, like, there's way too much text. Like, the game could have had half the amount of text and still told the exact same story and gotten across the exact same points for, like, pretty much every interaction, I feel like. And also the fact that, at least when I played through the game casually, every single side quest just felt like, hey, find me this echo. Which, I mean, like, yeah, they're different echoes, of course, but I feel like that as just, like, a general quest concept got pretty stale. Also, yeah, the menuing itself is pretty meh. Like, there has to be a better system here than a single line of every single echo. Also, thank you very much for the raid, Momo. Welcome, Momo viewers. Thanks for the good luck, Glubbers. Yeah, I mean, even like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask aren't like completely linear. Wow, 3 hits with the sword, interesting. The way that like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword are like very strictly linear, right? But, like even in Ocarina of Time, like if you want to, you can just do Fire Temple before Forest Temple. Or you can do Forest Temple, then Water Temple, then Spirit Temple. That's a valid path also. Really? I guess Morpheal was swimming up there. Really? Morpheal went right? Wow, that sucks. So thanks for the good luck kit. Unfortunately, we did not save any time in Lake Bed. But yeah, as far as like the completely open world games of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom though, I do feel like, at least for me personally, at a certain point, the fact that it is possible to do anything whenever you want kind of makes a lot of it feel like not important in a sense. It's like after my 10th Korok, I was like, okay, I don't feel like finding more Koroks anymore. Yeah, pace of this run is a bit meh. You want another weird Zelda like MM? Yeah. I would be down for another weird Zelda game like Majora's Mask. But don't think we're gonna get another mainline Zelda game from Nintendo that is crunched into the development time of a single year, which is part of the reason that Majora's Mask exists the way it does. Also, thanks for the good luck, Mary Say. They should remake Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 3DS. Yes, I agree. They can call it The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D for the Nintendo 3DS, released by Grezzo in 2015. Manifesting the Master Sword time save. I don't know about that. I can only save like a second and a half on this segment at best. When does TPHD get a 3DS remake? That's a great question. I did once have a dream that I was playing Skyward Sword on the 3DS. I'm not really sure how that happened, but Dream me apparently was having a good time playing Skyward Sword on the 3DS. Was the control scheme better or worse? I don't remember, honestly. When does TPHD get a GameCube pre-make? Unfortunately, never, because Back in Time does not exist in TPHD, so you can't go back in time and make the pre-make. Not in my timeline. And you patch Back in Time into TPHD. I mean, I guess you technically could, but, Oh wow, we actually didn't have to kill any of the keys. Amazing. Ow, really? I love when Wolf Link decides ropes don't exist. Very nice wind cycle, though. Yeah, so far in this run, we've lost a minute and 50 seconds over my best. A minute or an hour and 30 minutes into the run. Is a little bit under where we would want to be, ideally. Or a little bit over on time loss, that is. Ideally, I would like to only lose 1 minute to my sum of best per hour of gameplay, if possible. Also, hello, JN's Cutie. But yeah, unfortunately, before AGDQ began, I started testing positive for COVID, so I could not go to the event when the event actually started. And GDQ essentially told me that if I was still testing positive by the Tuesday of the event, then they would have to fill my run with a backup runner or with other backup runs. And unfortunately, I was still testing positive on the Tuesday of the event. So my run was then given to Glubbers, who instead ran GameCube All Dungeons. Although on Wednesday, I did begin testing negative for COVID, so I still went to the event for the second half of the week after testing negative, and was there for my original run time slot, but because I had not tested negative by the deadline that GDQ gave, my run was instead replaced, but that's okay. I still had fun, and I've done a lot of GDQ runs before, and I'm sure I'll get to do more in the future, so... Not the biggest deal in the world. I did look very good in the cow onesie, this is true. Well, hello, MattZom13. How is HDL Dungeons faster than normal TP? Well, so the HDL Dungeons record is 349 currently. God, there's a lot of rupees. The GameCube All Dungeons record is 323, so GameCube is still faster than HD. I don't know what the Wii All Dungeons record is, though. So thanks for the good luck to the green light. But yes, Glubbers did a very good job with GameCube All Dungeons. Though for some weird reason, so that was the third time that GameCube All Dungeons has been shown off at a mainline GDQ. Because the first time was in 2014, then again in 2019, and then now again in 2026. And in all of those runs, the runner failed Pillar Clip at least once. So for some reason, All Dungeons TP runs seem to be cursed with Pillar Clip failures. Also, we did technically save 0.3 seconds. Okay, so Wii All Dungeons is a 3:44:37, which it's only like 5 minutes faster than this. Unfortunately, I don't think with current strategies it's reasonable to beat that time, but... Yes, exactly, Glubbers. See, you were running GameCube All Dungeons at a GDQ, so that's why Pillar Clip failed the first time. Also, hello, Unknown Legend. This is your first time watching the stream. Well, that makes sense, because this is my first stream to YouTube. We're multi-streaming to both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. Yeah, currently the chat is just the Twitch chat on screen. I could probably set it up to be the YouTube one also, but I was mostly focused on just getting the Twitch one up because of Twitch's multi-streaming rules. I didn't see the Blindfolded run. I don't remember what I was doing then. I might have been asleep because my sleep schedule was whack. Alright, let's go do Stupid Trick. But yeah, I mean, any blindfolded speedrun, especially of a Zelda game, is always going to be something impressive. Stupid Trick is just what I call early Snow Peak, because the trick is stupid. By stupid, I mean it's very difficult to do consistently. Oh, come on. And also, you just get unlucky like that sometimes. Please. And sometimes you just get unlucky a second time. I think this is too far. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, alright. Well, we lost about 15 seconds there, which isn't bad at all. We'll take that. I thought that was going to be too far forward, but I'm glad that I was wrong. So, Mornin' Kuiper. I didn't do my run at GDQ because I was unfortunately sick by the deadline that I would have had to not be sick by to still have the run slot. So, because I was still sick 2 days before my run slot, really? They had to put in a backup run to ensure that the run would, or that a run would still be on the schedule for that time slot. Also, thank you very much, 5FM, for the 19 months of Tier 1. So I think I could break the 3:49 flat time today. I mean, yeah, it's definitely still possible. If I only lose 2 minutes to my sum of best for the rest of the run, we'll get a 3:47, but that is a bit of a tall ask, especially for the rest of the run from this point onwards. But we did get past one of the harder tricks just now, so... Also, thanks for the good luck, D3. I almost bonked on that, which wouldn't have been great. Well, so GDQ, I don't think is really ever going to replace what was, like, a scheduled in-person run with a remote run, or, like, letting the runner of the originally in-person run do it remotely. Not just because of, like, the tech setup that would then have to be required for that, but also because, like, unfortunately for in-person GDQ events, remote runs kind of make donations fall off a cliff for the event. Like, viewers of the event don't tend to respond well to a mostly in-person event then having a very long remote segment. So that's not something that GDQ really wants to do, if I had to guess. Because that was originally what I asked for when I couldn't do my SGDQ 2022 run of Wind Waker All Dungeons. But they said that they were not going to do that, so... Nice. I was even facing all the way over here already. Also, no, YouTube does not have any commands currently. But I can probably take some time to figure out how to set that up. So thanks for the good luck, Mertendo. I think this game is coming on Switch 2 this year. I mean, there's probably a chance, at the very least, with, like, Nintendo Switch Online having the GameCube version put on the service for GameCube games, but I would definitely prefer, like, a full remake or remaster, if possible, from, like, Tantalus Games or something. Also, Morning Drain. Yeah, I had a good time at GDQ. I mean, my favorite run to watch was definitely TP All Dungeons, since that's the run that I simply just knew the most about. Blue rupee, probably not worth it. Oh, red rupee. In a bit of an awkward position, though. Nice. Yeah, that red rupee probably was not worth it. Pretty sure I'll still have to get the purple rupee now, essentially. I mean, I would imagine if Twilight Princess was gonna get remade again, it would probably start... They would probably start with TPHD, and not the GameCube version, but... who knows? Not cool. Yeah, by the time that I wasn't sick anymore, it was too late to change the schedule back. I mean, like, assumedly by the time that things had already been switched over, like, it was, like, it would have been too late to switch things back, right? So... What game do I plan on playing at the SGDQ? I mean, I'll probably submit the things that I had previously submitted. So, like, I'll probably submit MM3D, OOT3D, Skyward Sword Randomizer, Wind Waker Randomizer, and I guess... one other thing. Beef at the Thai place was good, though. Beef at the Thai place was good. I guess I could maybe submit Skyward Sword HD if for some reason they want Skyward Sword HD. Look into eyes of Yeto. Their true beauty. Who need mirror? Yeah, because I mean, for GDQ, you can submit up to 5 games, and then also submit up to 4 categories per game that you submit. So... that's 20 total categories you could technically submit to GDQ. Definitely meant to swing the sword there. Also, yeah, it is interesting that you can pick things up in this game with the ball and chain. Very useful for rando if you have the ball and chain, but you don't have the claw shot or the gale boomerang. I don't think I've ever submitted, like, 5 games with 4 categories per game. I think usually I only ever submit 4 total categories for, like, 2 games at most. Come on. I mean, GDQ has taken, like, plenty of co-op Zelda randomizers in the past, so I'm sure they'll eventually take Skyward Sword co-op randomizer. Welcome to the stream, Wildwire. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done, like, actual edited YouTube content that's not just post video of PB or of GDQ run. But also, this is my first YouTube stream, so it makes sense if you've never caught a live stream before. I have always streamed to Twitch, though, but figured it was about time to try the multi-streaming thing. I have no idea if GDQ has received copyright strikes from Nintendo before. I would imagine probably, just by sheer volume of content that they've uploaded. But Nintendo hasn't, I don't think Nintendo has been claiming YouTube videos anytime recently, ever since the end of the Nintendo Creator Program. Aside from, like, very specific modded content that they deem they do not like for whatever reason. Like, I think Point Crow's modded Breath of the Wild stuff got hit when, like, Tears of the Kingdom was about to come out. Oh yeah, GDQ has done donation-based crowd control before. It's been a while since they've done it, though. I guess I don't know if people have submitted it in a while. On the pillar. Because, yeah, I mean, you can set up crowd control, like, for your own stream that, like, redirects all of the crowd control, or, like, the money that people spend on crowd control to, like, a charity campaign. Also, thank you very much, Jay of Spades, for the 43 months of Tier 1. Thank you very much for the continued support. Glad you still enjoy the speedruns. Oh my god, we saved time. Amazing. I mean, we'll probably end up losing time because of Pogate skip, but maybe not. Maybe things will go super well, and we'll have a nice, clean Pogate skip. Hopefully. Alright, Bubbles. Let's get you through the wall. Really? Now this is kind of stinky. Oh, I mean, that kind of worked. Gotta get this guy over here now. Don't like that angle he was at. Seems like it's fine. Alright, we did one of the stupid parts. Ow, I did not want to destroy both of those. But that's fine. Okay. Never mind. Let's try that again. Thought I was all the way in the corner. There we go. Motion controls off. Turn around. Not that far. Really? I am surprised that did not work. Or that I was somehow too short on distance. Did I miscount the shield dashes? Or were they too slow or something? Well, that stinks. What? Okay, now I'm just confused, because... What is different? So thank you very much, Apes, for the 13 months of Tier 1. Darn it. No. Oh, okay. Really? No, darn it. I mean, I don't know if I would say this is the trick being mean. Because this is the part of the trick that doesn't have any RNG involved with it, but I don't understand why it's not working this time. That's the problem. Also, why that didn't work. Okay. Why did that work and the previous ones didn't? I do not understand. I'll have to look back at those and see what was wrong. One of your cats has decided to claim your lap, and you're no longer able to get up and get lunch. Well, sometimes that's just how it goes. Also, thanks for the good luck, Parasite. Darn it. Inside. Too far inside. Whenever you do the shield bashes and jump slashes, you never land on the ledge. I mean, I know that it doesn't work if you're, like, way too low, but I've never had it not work if, like, as long as I do them quickly enough, so... yeah, I don't know. New streamer, who dis? Dis be Gymnast 86. Work is complete. You can lock into the gym content now. Heck yeah. I don't think Ferg Lady will stream on YouTube now. Congrats on the world record. Thank you. The run was very good for the first 3 hours, and then the last 50 minutes were not very good. I mean, that bonk sometimes happens. I guess more specifically, the thing that I wish didn't happen would be the roll. But I should be trying to intentionally cancel the spinner slightly earlier in anticipation of just actually getting that roll so I can roll to the boss door. Okay. Ow. Darn it. You just noticed, if Jim is a new streamer, who's the handsome young man you've been subscribed to all this time? Don't worry about it. Unimportant detail. Any interesting developments in the run/route lately? Depends on what you mean by lately. If you mean since, like, my last few PBs of this category, not really anything, no. You wish there were more Zelda games with proper animal transformations like TP. You feel like there's so much should be done there, especially if Nintendo is so set on doing more open-world games. Yeah, I mean, animal transformations, or just, like, the Majora's Mask main transformations, are, like, a good way to vary up the gameplay. I feel like in Twilight Princess, Wolf-Link... like, Wolf-Link never really gains any new abilities. Like, all of the abilities that Wolf-Link has, he kind of gets at the start of the game, whereas, like, you know, Human Link continuously gets new items throughout the game to make Human Link's gameplay at least, like, vary over the course of the game, whereas Wolf-Link's gameplay just kind of more or less is the same the whole game, I kind of feel like. At least with regards to abilities. It would have been nice if, like, Wolf-Link could have learned some hidden skills somehow or something. That would have been kind of neat. Also, thank you very much, GMO Pasta, for the 50 months of Tier 1. Thank you very much for the good luck and reaching the big 5-0. Equip the iron boots there. Enough. However, let's do an 100% run where you start with a max of everything and have to put it all back. Not really sure how that would work, since a lot of the items in this game you can't lose once you actually have them. I like to go into first person. Oh, also, yeah, we don't have to do the Goron Mine sumo wrestling. Or the sumo wrestling that would normally happen before going into Goron Mines. Really? What the heck? I don't know what the heck that was. Kinda weird, but okay. Really? Man. Why must this trick be so finicky? More specifically, why must the last part of this trick be so finicky? The Goron Elder's text that he has right there is normally only supposed to be activated in a specific cutscene, but because we're activating it outside of that cutscene, it's kind of broken up weirdly. So we essentially only advance it to the point where the invisible wall that's behind the two Gorons that are blocking the entry to the sumo hall disappears, and then we reload the area and can then just use the spinner to get through the collision of, like, the push collision of those Gorons, which is different from the invisible wall that's behind them. Just using the spinner. Also, thank you very much, D3, for the 56 months of Prime. I appreciate the continued support from you as well. But yeah, the state of the Sumo Hall is also messed up because we got the Master Sword before completing Goron Mines, so I don't think you can activate that, like the text, or like the cutscene that you would need to actually do the sumo wrestling anyway. So thank you very much, Pride, for the 31 months of Tier 1. This is the beginning of an era for Gymnast 86 in your heart. Aww. This truly is the end of an era. For some other things, apparently, as according to some people. But thanks for the continued support, Pride. I appreciate you. Oh, oops. I wasn't supposed to do that for the third one. Also, no, Crystal. This is not a reference to Taylor Swift. I'm not really sure why you can't do it for the last one. For some reason, it just doesn't start the cutscene if you drop him into the lava. It might just be because the cutscene is tied to him going over the edge, which doesn't happen if he falls through the floor. Finally figured out how to close the emote menu on YouTube. Nice. I always believed in you, Crystal. Forgot the stamp that requires Claw Shot. Oh no. How am I ever going to complete this all dungeons run without that stamp? This truly is the end of an era. Also, thanks for the good luck, Graham JYC. True, the Miiverse, unfortunately, does not exist anymore. Well, I'm sure it's archived somewhere on Nintendo's servers, but... not publicly available anymore. So thanks for the good luck, Black Jacoop. Thank you very much for the 25 months of Prime as well. Do very much appreciate the continued support. Also, thanks for the good luck, Smoothie. Practicing MM glitchless, and you failed to finish Snowhead before the end of the first day. Well, I mean... it does take practice to do speedruns well. I'm sure you will be able to do it eventually. Thanks. I wonder how speedrunners avoid things like carpal tunnel. I mean... at least as far as Zelda games go, like... there's usually a fair amount of downtime where your hands are resting in each run, and you're, like, not doing anything. Especially in the games that have, like, the long intros. Right? Like... the first 10 minutes of Majora's Mask is mostly doing nothing. Right? Twilight Princess has quite a few cutscenes where you don't have to do anything, despite being able to skip most of them. And also, like even in Wind Waker, where you have to mash a lot for things like manual super swim or for zombie hovering, there's still a lot of cutscenes where you can just not do anything to rest your hands. How's it going so far? I mean, aside from Pogate skip, this run's hasn't been too bad, I guess. But Pogate skip is where it kind of died, unfortunately. For reasons that I do not understand, and will have to look into. I'm playing on gamepad. Since on gamepad we can equip items with the touchscreen without having to pause, and also have gyro aiming, which is much better than stick aiming in my opinion. Yes, in real life, the city in the sky would probably be very cold. Not particularly habitable. And the air would be very thin up here. Alright, well, at least this segment was pretty good. Obviously could have been slightly faster if we had first try on the Geralfo skip instead of fourth try, but those retries are very fast, so it's not a huge deal. Other than the 5 minutes in Spinner, how has it gone today? It's been alright, but Ogate Skip apparently had some opinions today. Also, hello. The Aura Tunic gives oxygen for some reason. Ah, of course. No, Pogate Skip in HD only saves about 2.5 minutes if it's done very well. Since on GameCube and Wii it saves about 4.5 minutes, but on HD we have to spend 2 minutes getting Shield Bash, which is why it doesn't save as much time. Because the entire sequence of collecting the Poe Flames is about a 6-minute sequence. And it takes about 1.5 minutes to do the skip if you set it up, like, really well RTA. There you go. Guess I wasn't far enough out there. Have I played any Square Enix games before? I don't know. So probably not. If a run clearly won't get a PB, how late into a run do I get before I decide I'll just finish the run? I mean, in the case of this run, I'm continuing because I haven't actually done a run of this category in like 2 weeks, so it's good to de-rust, but also the, like, last 50 minutes of the run aren't very exciting. At least to me personally, so a lot of the time with Twilight Princess, I'll, like, finish City in the Sky and then kind of just call it there. Because usually everything up to City in the Sky is very fun, and then we have, like, Palace of Twilight, which is kind of meh. Have I played any Square Nintendo games before? Depends on what we're defining as a Square Nintendo game. I guess, yeah, if we're defining Square as cartridges, then I have played Nintendo DS games before. Alright, so yeah, I think we will probably just call it here. Since I do have to do some real life things, ideally, before I become sleepy, and because my sleep schedule is a bit wacky, I'm probably gonna get sleepy in like 2 hours, so I would like to get that stuff done first. So, thank you guys all very much for watching today. Ew, real life things. Yeah. There's not going to be a stream tomorrow because tomorrow's Tuesday. And there's not going to be a stream on Wednesday either, because I have other plans for Wednesday that do not involve streaming, so... next stream will be on Thursday, so... that is what y'all can expect, so... with that said, I will see you all later. Goodbye. I guess now I get to figure out how to run ads on YouTube. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Thanks, YouTube. We have inserted a YouTube ad. Excellent. Anyway, bye-bye.